Avi Meyer's here, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Sonny Hirsch, entire technical crew, website ntnm.org, community policing caps24.org, right down to business. We have somebody who's got a fascinating resume running for the Republican candidacy for congressman of the 10th District, where Mark Kirk is presently the Republican congressman and is running for the Senate, and that's Dr. Arie Friedman. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Now, you've got people should go to your website, which is?
It's www.friedman, F-R-I-E-D-M-A-N, 2010.com.
Just because your own personal biography is really interesting, so why don't you give us some of it?
Well, my personal biography that I think you're referring to starts here in the district. I went to Solomon Schechter Day School, and am a graduate of Highland Park High School, go Giants, class of '83, and a graduate of the University of Chicago. After leaving the University of Chicago, 7 days later, I was down in Pensacola, Florida at Aviation Officer Candidate School to begin my 7-year career as a Navy helicopter pilot. It was a pretty busy time. That was the end of the Cold War. Ronald Reagan was president. I was on active duty when the Berlin Wall came down and when Saddam Hussein crossed the border into Kuwait and deployed twice during that time period. First aboard USS Chosin as a plank owner, one of the first crewmen of a new cruiser, and the second time aboard USS Vandegrift, FFG 48, as a member of the air crew on deployment to Desert Storm. I finished up my 7 years with 18 months as a military instructor pilot back in Pensacola, Florida, teaching advanced tactics and helicopter operations.
Yeah, something like 406 missions you flew?
406 shipboard landings, 183 at night, and that's not a small deal. You know, those Centurion patches, a patch each time you get 100 shipboard landings is a pretty big deal. Those are highly sought after and mean a lot to people like me.
So now you're flying in a different direction.
That's right. So since that time, it's been 15 years. It seems to have flown pretty quickly. I've been in medicine. When I left active duty, transferred to the Medical Corps in the Reserves, went to medical school through the Illinois Veterans Grant, which is a great program, and since then have been building my career as a pediatrician. And it's been a pretty good career. I graduated first in my medical school class. Was chairman of pediatrics at Condell Hospital, which is the largest hospital in Lake County, and have been building a practice for the last 8 years with offices in Gurnee and Lincolnshire, and we've been very successful. So it's been a busy few years.
Oh, that sounds good. So and now you're running for Congress.
Now I'm running for Congress, and it's pretty serious. I mean, people have asked me why I'm doing it. My wife asked me why I'm doing it, and what I can tell you...
Hi, Michelle. Very nice lady. Met her yesterday.
Yes, she is. And what I can tell people is that the same feelings I had when I got into service, when I joined the Navy, and what I felt about that time and how critical it was and where we were a turning point in history, is exactly how I feel now, but in a very different way. I think a lot of people are worried. A lot of people are concerned about the direction we're taking. Two of my career experiences have bearing on that. I'm very caught up in what's going on with healthcare reform, and I'm very concerned about it. And I'm also riveted by what's going on in our overseas wars and what's happening with the people who are deployed there. One or two of whom I still know and who've made deployments back and forth between here and Iraq. And why get involved? Because I think we're going in the wrong direction. I'm very concerned that, particularly last night with the speech that the president gave, that we're very much on the wrong track in Afghanistan. And I think that a district like ours, which traditionally has very influential congressmen, is entitled to somebody with experiences that can mean something in Washington, that people can listen to. And certainly on medicine, I feel very much the same way. You know, there's a big difference between talking about medicine, writing a 2,000-page bill as a lawyer or an MBA, and having experiences in building a business, building a medical practice, and seeing what the implications of this sort of thing are. A very good example of that is this most recent recommendation, which a lot of people have heard about, where the U.S. Preventative Task Force on Preventative Medicine recommended that women start getting their mammograms at the age of 50. What's interesting about that recommendation is it's using the same data that came out of that was responsible for the previous recommendation of 40, except they rolled cost-effectiveness data into it. And people have asked me, is that the future of medicine? If this bill passes, it is absolutely the future of medicine.
Yeah, I've got to stand with you very strong on that point. I'm very unhappy with what's going on along these lines. And you know what? I think I'm going to try to get you back before the election. I'd like to talk to you longer. I've got 5 guests today. Your contact information?
My contact information, again, is the best place is to get all of our contact information is on the website, www.friedman2010.com. Our phone number is 847-220-7337. And you can always email me directly at candidate@friedman2010.com, and I respond to all of my emails and most of my phone calls personally.
And I want to thank Dr. Michael Menace for introducing me to you in the first place, and also Jeff Shapiro, your campaign manager. That's the right name?
No, Paul Miller is my...
Paul Miller. Paul, yeah, I'm sorry. I got mixed up with Joe Pollack for a minute. Yeah, he friended me on Facebook earlier today.
Well, and I can see that because we're both Solomon Schechter graduates.
Very good. Anyway, I want to thank you very much. We're out of time here. But, hey, vote early and often in the 10th District for Dr. Arie Friedman.